Here we have the Coast Range, which also we combine with the Cascades in Sierra Nevada, essentially a chain of mountains that are very new, very young, in which they're still forming. So what's happening is we have the Pacific Plate plunging underneath the North American Plate, creating this very rugged feature, which, unlike the Rockies, is very close to that plate boundary. And here's the process we have. Here's the oceanic crust. The Pacific Plate essentially is being forced underneath the North American Plate. And so that materials, that rock, whatever it might be, the bits of materials, old boats, whatever it might be, essentially is now forced. I was being sarcastic there about the boats, is being forced underneath the continental plate or the North American Plate, and that material then gets closer to the Earth's heat source, the core. And so essentially that material gets heated up, and then what we see in that heat is eventually released as steam or released as rock. That then creates very much this linear feature, this volcanic arc or this rugged terrain that we see along a plate boundary parallel to the trench, but also parallel to where the one plate is going underneath the other plate. And we look at 40 million years ago throughout the western coast. This is what's happening. And so as I put this in motion, kind of visualize the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Plate, plunging underneath the North American Plate, plunging underneath the North American landmass. 25 million years ago. 15 million years ago, plate convergence. 8 million years ago, and so now we see this very rugged terrain. So this is going to only continue. We're going to see plate convergence. Now this is, of course, going to be way after we're gone, but just continue to see, over the next, several thousands and millions of years, more and more of a rugged topography being created as the ocean plate, the Pacific Plate, plunges underneath the North American Plate. Also, we see that up in the Aleutian Islands. The Aleutian Islands up there in Alaska, also being formed. Here we have the Pacific Plate going underneath the North American Plate, but essentially where the North American Plate is up here is essentially two ocean plates colliding with each other, creating a very thin chain of islands there, the Aleutian Islands. Now we get to 3 million years ago, and it's starting to look a little bit more like what we see today in terms of the locations of these landform features.